Hello everyone, welcome to this session. Let's start with this new chapter, the excretion. So far in our previous session, we discussed the coordination in living things, we discussed the coordination in plants, then also we discussed the coordination in animals. So today let's move on to this new chapter, excretion. We'll start with the concept of the excretion. So by this we'll start with we'll know what the meaning of excretion. So the chemical reactions that occur in the cells of the living organisms all the time to carry out the life processes. So there are these various chemical reactions that occur in these cells of living organisms, and in these reactions, due to various life processes, are there just to enable the organism to live. Now, the sum of these reactions is what we call the metabolism. Now, metabolism produces useful products that are very necessarily needed for the body of the living organism, as well as it also produces these various toxic or these poisonous byproducts. So in the metabolism process, useful products are produced, and also these toxic byproducts are also produced. Now these toxic substances, they have to be removed as they are just harmful if allowed to accumulate within the body of an organism. Now that's where the excretion comes out. Now the removal of these metabolic waste products from the body of organism is what we call the excretion. Now the major excretory products that are excreted away from the body of organisms, they include as the carbon dioxide, the excess water, the nitrogenous compounds like the ammonium, urea, uric acid, etc. So these are just major excretory products that are excreted away from the body. The carbon dioxide and the water are the ones that are produced in the process of the tissue respiration. Nitrogenous compounds are the ones that are formed from the breakdown of the proteins and the amino acids. So there you see how these byproducts are produced. The carbon dioxide and the water produced in the tissue respiration due to the process of tissue respiration, and the nitrogenous compounds uh, formed from the breakdown of the protein and the amino acids. Now, water and the source in excess of the body's needs are also excreted. So these are also excreted when they become in excess. The water and the source. Now, other excretory products include the chemicals from the medicines, toxic substances, and the circulating hormones that have already served their purpose are the ones that are also excreted. Now we will learn how metabolic wastes get eliminated in this chapter. So in conclusion, you can just say that excretion, this is the process by which the waste products of the metabolism and the other non-useful materials are just eliminated from an organism. That's what we call the excretion. So from until there, you can get the meaning of the excretion. Now, let's briefly talk more on the examples of the excretory products eliminated by the organisms. We've just saw them. We've just seen them when we started seeing the concept of excretion. So here we'll just discuss them in a little bit detail of those excretory products. The living organisms, they excrete the various excretory products of diverse chemical nature, as we've seen. Now the following just example of these examples of these excretory products excreted by the living organisms. So we'll start with the first one, the carbon dioxide. This is the byproduct of the respiration of both the plants and the animals. So that's the first byproduct, or just the excretory product, the carbon dioxide. It is excreted through the pores of the stomata in plants. Some of the carbon dioxide produced by the respiration is the one that is used in the photosynthesis. In man, carbon dioxide is the one that is eliminated from the body by the lungs. Now that's just about carbon dioxide. Then water, as we've said in the introduction, the body excretes this in excess water. Now, the concentration of water in cells must be kept within narrow limits, as too much or just too little water can have a negative effect on the osmotic condition in and around the cell. Now, therefore, it has to be regulated. So the water component has to be regulated within the cells of or within just around the cell of the organism. Now, plant cells are protected from the bursting process that happens by the cell by their cell walls, while in terms of the animals, they just do not have these cell walls, and therefore will just burst if they have too much water. So in that case, excess water is lost from the surface of the gaseous exchange in both the plants and the animals. So that's how excess water is removed, just to enable the needed amount of water to exist within the cells. In mammals, water is also lost through the sweat and through the osmoregulation controlled by the kidneys. So that's the other way in which the water is lost in these mammals. Now, the other excretory product we'll discuss is the urea. This is the compound produced in mammals from the breakdown of the excess amino acids, as we've seen in the introduction. The amino acids, they cannot be stored because the accumulation is just toxic. Now, in that kind of case, they are therefore converted into a less toxic substance that we call the urea. Now, this process occurs in the liver, and it is what is called the deamination. So that's the process of deamination. The ammonia is converted to urea by the liver. The urea is the one that is transported by the blood to the kidneys, where they are excreted. So that's how the process of this excreting the urea is happening. The ammonia is converted to urea by the liver, then the urea is the one that is transported by blood to the kidneys, where they are excreted. The kidneys are also used to remove this uric acid, water, excess salts, excess hormones, and the bile pigments. So that's all. I just there some of the byproducts that kidneys can also excrete. So I hope that's clear, everyone. Thank you for listening. We've started discussing this new chapter, the excretion. We've seen the concept of it. We've later on seen the meaning of the excretion, and then we've little bit discussed about the excretory products. Some of the examples of the excretory products that can be excreted by the organisms. So I hope that's clear, and thank you.